Okay, we are live. Welcome, Internet, to the Ranting Hour. We rant for at least an hour. I didn't transition the slides over correctly. Bam. Off to a great start. Windows is yelling at me right now for some reason. What shortcut did I hit? Uh-oh. That's throwing me off. Okay, restart. Welcome, Internet, to the Ranting Hour. We rant for sometimes an hour, maybe more, about the in-between stuff that doesn't make it into my videos. We generally have an idea what's going on, but we go where the wind takes us. Wow, I am not on it today. Today I'm welcomed by Just Ink. Mino might show his face, and by face I mean presence. Yeah, I'm just whiffing today. Jesus, my brain. That's why we do an intro and get into the routine of things. But anyways, before we get started, please like the video. If you're watching it live or catching the VOD, do me a favor and do that. Helps me out a ton. I know you guys love the content and this stuff, so spread it around. It is the biggest thing you can do, help it get into people's feeds and recommendations and all that. If you are watching the VOD, be sure to leave a comment, and if you're here live, chatting helps as well. I do look at the chat from time to time, but if we're going crazy, I don't look at the chat. So if you really want to get my attention, feel free to throw a super chat. Oh my God. Throw a super chat my way. All support is always welcome. Timestamps will be up eventually. Indolent Large, the GOAT, funny videos, road to 1K subscribers. Subscribe to him if you ain't already. He always got my back on those. If you want some more of these shenanigans, be sure to join the TCC Discord where we usually hang out. Just don't be cringe, please. Really, don't join the server and be cringe, because then I feel responsible. Oh, I hate cringe. I always give big ups to Mark, though, owner of the servers. Without him, I probably would not have stuck to YouTube. So go support. They do a podcast every Thursday at 9 p.m. Don't miss that either. You can catch Mino there as well. I also have memberships on the channel if you want to support me that way. $1 for emotes. And this is my weekly call. I'm putting it in the beginning of the intro finally for people to create more content. Anyone can do what we're doing. It just takes time to grow and build and get comfortable. Do you have any ideas? If there are any ideas that you feel that need explaining that haven't been done by any current content creators, want to correct something, want to show it being done, put it on YouTube. Take reality into your own hands. We need more content creators. And I usually check smaller creators out. I'm usually in people's comments sometimes. Sometimes I watch, sometimes I don't. But I do watch a lot of people's content. So all you guys watching right now can do content. Shout out to VL in chat. Anyone can do anything. I see VL bringing up that I thought Anacro was Arciella. Yeah, that was embarrassing. So there's a couple things I want to get into, but I want to say hello to Ink, as I've been just going on and I need to breathe. Hello, Ink. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. And your time rambling was good because I needed to get my dog upstairs, give him some water.
Okay, I need some water. Jesus Christ.
I walk him with a mozzarella stick, so that to motivate him. So I needed to get that in the fridge. So this was good timing.
I see. Are you gonna eat? No, that'd be wrong. Are you having mozzarella? You just walk him with a mozzarella stick? Like, wait,
that's his treat motivation. He loves mozzarella.
Is this a daily thing?
Yeah. Twice a day.
Wow, that's gonna be a fat dog.
Nah, he's ripped, man. He takes
mozzarella sticks.
I mean, he eats his normal food, and we go for like 2+ mile walks together. So he's in pretty good shape.
Wow, mozzarella sticks. Wish I had a mozzarella stick.
I mean, surely there's something that some food that your friend or your girlfriend can offer you that would make you do something that you normally wouldn't. You'd be like, oh, sweet, I want that.
That's a lot of.
So like that.
I don't know. My food palate's pretty small. VL, there's a couple things I wanted to knock out first. First off, I got to do the cringe comment of the week, but I also wanted to do a positive comment of the week. But first, this VL brought up something funny. So, related to my video for Thancred's JP raid, I thought the fight was a bit of a meme, but I didn't realize how much Zach trivialized it. So shout out to the guy in the comments who pointed out, try it without Zach, and I went and tried it without Zach, and it was a lot more difficult, so I enjoy that fight a lot more, and I'm going to upload a second recorded run rectifying that, because I thought it was worth bringing up. So it's good on. It's one thing I was wrong about. Shout out to bringing boss mechanics back in JP. I enjoyed that too. In that same video, if you're gonna go laugh at me, I tried to put Anna Crow's LD call on Zach, and I was so tired that I didn't realize that it was Arciella because they have the same color hair and shit. So I didn't realize it was Anna Crow's call until I hit the button. I was like, wait, oh no, that's definitely Arciella. So yeah, I'm getting called out by someone who should be napping in the chat. That I synergy stomped. It wasn't a synergy stomp. I just Zac stomped it. What else? Oh yeah, I gotta bring up the dumb comment of the week. If you saw my community post earlier, you probably know who I'm talking about. Boom, Mr. Wolf Saint Fox. Yeah, what a mess. Apparently, I'm simping for Ink Welder by liking Sabin. Ink will tell you, and if Mino were here, he'd elaborate you. I give Ink such a hard time about everything, constantly, to the point where accusing me of simping for like, Ink, don't I disagree with you on stuff all the time?
Not only do you disagree with me constantly and try to and set me straight, but you also constantly like attack any type of new content I try to produce. You're like, dude, stop that shit. You're
yes, it's almost a daily affair.
Yes, it is. Because I randomly ping VC with like shit like, hey, if you were going to categorize every call in the game, what would be like the 5 most important categories?
He's always trying to put some shit on a damn spreadsheet in the formula, and I hate it. It's a daily affair. This happens daily. So the fact that this fucking idiot would dare accuse me of simping for Ink, one, a grown-ass man that I don't even know, over a video game. I don't know what fucking stupid universe you have to live in to be this dumb and type something this dumb on the internet. Well, congrats, idiot. Unless I see an apology and a complete, because here's what happened. He commented this, and then I told him, how about I just like the character, stupid? And then he deleted the comment because I dared respond to him. He hasn't shown his face since. So if I see this name on this channel, it is nothing but an apology. Like I'm willing to kill it. I'm willing to dead it right now. I'm being charitable. I even asked him, are you trolling me? Because I'll just block you. And he tried to fight back and then deleted the comment like a little bitch. So if he's gonna pull up on this channel again, if it's not an apology, you're getting blocked frame 1, stupid. The fuck out of here.
My problem with this asshole is he implying that Sabin is only good in a few fights?
Yeah, that was implying? It was multiple layers of dumb. And I went back and searched this guy's comment history. And apparently he was a hating ass dude. I should have blocked him right there. But I'm gonna give him the chance anyways, just because I am so charitable. But we don't just highlight dumb comments here. We also highlight things that probably deserved a bit more positivity and didn't get their shine. So I was reading the really thread on Reddit earlier where people were very salty about Core. I mean, not Core, about Setzer not showing up and being synergy and whatever the mess was. That Reddit thread is a holler. The funniest thing on this thread was easily people saying they're gonna wait to do the boss rush because they're convinced they can't do it without Setzer. And this poor guy got downvoted to oblivion. It's probably worse by now. When he gave a simple explanation on how to get around the wave without Setzer. And Reddit didn't like this at all. So shout out to this dude trying to provide some logic and team building and thinking about how to do stages without playing the game on a fucking script. Christ. Imagine getting downvoted for giving people alternative strategies.
Are you fucking kidding? I need to go give this guy a gold.
Thread's a clusterfuck. People are so mad about Setzer.
What on earth?
It makes sense that whole Reddit thread, that chain of comments didn't like me, probably because I called bullshit on people losing their minds about Setzer. Because look at this, he got slammed for this. You can slot Core. You can like drop their defense. Like people have been doing this stage without Setzer, and like the amount of people saying, "Oh, I'm just gonna wait." I mean, if you have tried it, or you want to take path the least resistance, but just like giving up preemptively, that's kind of wild to me. I mean, people can probably do it without Setzer in the first place. It's just kind of, and some of these people are the same people. When I went way back and I saw some of the Doomer like Chaos and Lufenia Plus threads, it's some of those same people doing the same shit who've convinced themselves that they need Setzer. So I like to call those people losers, and you're a loser because of the way you think. it's a loser mindset. You set yourself up to lose. If you know your limits, that's not losing. That's just picking your battles. But some people have decided they suck and need something to do with it without getting creative, without getting out the bucket. And these people are usually the biggest doomers and the least informed about the game. So shout out to you, Zodiark05. Get off Reddit, bro. This subreddit's a fucking mess. I wish you the best, dog. Jesus Christ.
And so Jets Crush said it in chat. X-Death was a fucking monster in the last wave.
I didn't know Porum worked until you told me like the day before. I was like, wait, really? That's so stupid, but it makes sense. And I was like, oh, that's hilarious. I had no idea Porum worked. Everyone and their mom is Porum anyway, so you use Porum on the thread, on the fucking stage, you motherfuckers. Ugh.
Porum and X-Death just like pressing his skill 2 and womping all their orbs up was freaking
for me.
Hell yeah, I did. I love watching your X-Death videos.
Robbie Newton said, I got downvoted for reminding people that JP is different from GL, and Setzer was not promised or the best of my mind teased. It is what it is. Yep. That's really, I don't get people getting upset at a banner that doesn't exist yet. Like the people, and I'm not gonna guess what's on the banner because I don't know. I'm just gonna wait. I'm gonna wait until it's here, and I want to see it for what it is. But I would have just as much credibility in claiming that the banner will have all BTs in the game on it as the people who are claiming it will have no BT on it. There's an equal amount of proof for both theories. And if that upsets you, that's you suffering cognitive dissonance, because really we just don't know. Could it be a banner with just Ami LD, Setzer LD, and Walk LD? It could. It could also be a bunch of other things. And there really is no point in, especially, I doubt the people losing their minds and predicting things. If they get it wrong, I doubt that they're gonna go back and correct themselves. So, yeah. Someone said they're losing their minds because they didn't pull units that were deemed bad. Core and Saving come to mind because they're repeatedly told Setzer was the end all be all. Yeah, it's just a self-fulfilling prophecy. So we can't really do anything to convince them. I know Blart's in chat. Shout out to Blart. And shout out to the live stream, which I still haven't watched, but that's a Blart, Zoe, and Raw Life creating content. Like I said earlier, anyone could do this shit, bro. Just start trying to make content, stream, make videos, talk about stuff. I can't cover everything. I know it's so weird that people look up to me in ink, and that's a whole different discussion. But y'all can do it too. All right, I've been in that spot where I wonder how it is, and it's weird I'm here now, but y'all can do it. But anyways,
Search my name, search from Inkwelder in main chord, and go to the earliest comments and watch how I struggled.
Oh, okay. You're about to put yourself on blast.
I totally struggled through. I was like, hey, can someone help me with Lena? Not Lena like co-op. No, Lena Part 5. Lena event Part 5. I need help. My 35 CP only Vincent is struggling through it. I have Aiko with no weapon passives and Sephiroth with his 35 with 1 limit break.
Hey, hold on. There's nothing. Oh, Blart just became a member. Thank you, Blart. Thank you very much. That was my Sephiroth for a minute. But it's funny, we can look back to when I think the last time I was trying to think of the last time they delayed stuff. And I know I said I didn't want to talk about Setzer last week anymore, but it got exponentially funnier this week. So
the last time they delayed something that it
was Cater. It was just Cater, right?
Yeah.
Cater did lose, but Cater was funny for different reasons because a lot of people lost their minds over people playing around the solos, and I found that like the GL first outrage is usually people misunderstanding and not knowing how to judge kits, but when you mess with the timings of stuff, you mess with the hoarders, bro. And these are the most like you don't mess with the hoarders, bro. If anything, they've been much more rabid than the bad character. Like in the TCC Discord, I repost it like every week now. Every week, Core just demolishes something. I repost that guy saying Core is a worse Setzer, and it just gets worse and worse every time I repost that because it's just so funny. But man, you mess with the hoarders who play the game on a script, and by the way, if it don't apply, anything I'm making fun of right now, if it don't apply, I'll let it fly. If you're making a completely different point and it doesn't include you, don't worry about it, because if I didn't say it, I wasn't talking about it. But Man, it's just you mess with the poll planners, bro, and it was like Cater. What was before Cater? Was it Clouds 35? Maybe was that the last thing they delayed, or not 35, but a rework? Was that the previous thing they delayed?
That was something they delayed. I'm pretty sure
People did lose their minds over that.
No,
too.
they delayed. They delayed a lot during the Awakenings. They delayed Bonzi.
Right. Sarah got shifted around. I remember someone freaking out about that. Sarah got moved to Wave 4, I think it was. So they used to shift around Awakenings, and people lose their mind then. Again, same thing. It wasn't promised, and it's the same sort of like ass backwards logic. Well, oh, they've been following JP now. It's screwing me over that they couldn't. Well, I mean, they never said they would. It's just... and people are gonna pull on Setzer anyways. I mean, what's that?
So the funny thing about this, and I know Mino's on, but the funny thing about this is if you actually look at what's upcoming, and you put 2 and 2 together, right? The 30th. So either we get Setzer tomorrow, right, as part of 2-day, like the 2-day post-release that they did with Aerith, they did it with Sarah, they did it with all of those special banners.
That'd be funny.
So either we get Setzer tomorrow, or what's more likely is we get Setzer on the 30th. On the 30th, as part of Umbral Equinox, there's 2 banners. So the Setzer banner comes, as well as the Von Kefka Arden banner. They both come, right? Now, here's the problem, is that Yuna comes right after that. And
How
in
soon?
JP, well, she'll probably be like 5 days after, right?
5 days after Equinox 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my random guess. Maybe it's 3 days. Actually, it's probably 3 days, given the maintenance and the stream. So let's say that it's 3 days, whatever, it doesn't matter. Right after Yuna's event is the level 250 fight with
Assuming we
Shinryu.
get that. Assuming we get that, which is not
Right, we're
promised.
probably not going to get it
Yeah.
at that time.
Oh,
They're
that's something I
going
wanted
to
go over
delay.
Thank you for
They're
that.
going to delay Agrius, and people are going to lose their fucking minds again over Agrius getting.
Is that a
delayed.
theory, or that's
This is a theory.
He's theorizing, guys.
I am theorizing, yeah.
Let's
So
make that
if
clear,
you-
as people lose their minds.
Yeah, they may still give it to us. They're likely to change. I figure they're going to change it. If they give it to us again, it doesn't make sense where it's at. It makes sense to release it with X-Death Cycle, like right after Vivi. So like Vivi's story comes out, and then right after Vivi's story is Zidane. So it makes sense to sort of transition people in, because people will have Vivi and Deuce already. So it seems like a much better time to, after that story, like 2 or 3 days later, go drop a level 250 fight for people to play with, to prep them for Pandemonium.
Right. Theologic says, if Setzer gets this kind of reaction, if Agrius gets delayed, oh, that'd be funny. That'd be really funny. And the crazy part is that I don't even think people know why they're excited for. Well, obviously there's Tactics fans, but people have the nasty Vayne and Kate Sith fights in mind for Agrius for the most part. But I don't know. But something I did want to touch on, and I totally understand their rationale. Oh, the Tactics people coming out the woodworks, if Agrius got delayed, yes, that would be so funny, and it would make me regret being a Tactics fan even more. I always regret being a Tactics fan every time people cry about Geo first not being Tactics, because it's like, whatever, bro. I mean, get over it.
We need to remind them. We need to remind them that Ramza got moved up, didn't he? He got shifted forward as a result of Von getting shifted back or something.
I can't confirm
His
that.
His EX came in Awakening Wave 2, and
You're right.
previously,
Ramza did come early.
yes, he gained super early. So anyone that fucking bitches about Tactics getting screwed, you can point them to that.
See, and there was one dude, and there's been just multiple Setzer threads every day. There's one person complaining about there's never been precedence for this, and then people pointed out that they have shifted around stuff anymore. He's like, well, that's not fair, because I wasn't on Reddit a year ago. Okay, guy. But the thing that in hindsight makes a lot of sense is because the synergy on Boss Rush 5 and Yuna's event was so loaded. I think it's what inspired the artifact change with the tokens, because so JP had Setzer, Reno, Rosa, Leon, Jack, not Waka, but Lilith, and then the Von Kefka Arden. So I think they had like 10 synergy units for Boss Rush 5, and that's not super profitable for them. And it's they usually don't have that much synergy for a Boss Rush, which probably on paper lost them money because it gave almost everyone certainly had a boost in that. So they probably cut it out. I could understand why they do that. Why they cut so. The decision to cut Rosa and Reno out is slightly weird, but I can see why they did it, just because there was so much. And I think the only people farmable in the co-op are Jack. Who is farmable in the co-op? I actually don't know. Do you know, Ink?
I'm pretty actually, I don't know. I haven't been paying attention.
I don't pay
attention. It's just in the shop though, and Reno and Rosa didn't repeat on this because they are synergy on the Equinox co-op.
Correct.
So their stuff is already dropping there, so they wouldn't put it in 2 stores.
Yes.
That doesn't make sense.
And then on Yuna's thing, Von, Kefka, and Arden synergy carry over there, and they also included Noctis, Toto, and Terra synergy, and then all 6 of the synergy on Yuna's banner. So that was Yuna, Desh, Gao, Trey, and then 2 other people I don't know, and then on top of that it was Agrius and Sayador. So the synergy was like 50 billion different synergy units at once, and that's definitely not very profitable for Square. So it makes a lot more sense that they were to shift that around, and so in hindsight it makes sense how that ended up. So I think the Equinox because they also compensated for it by giving us more content and more tokens, I believe, because those 3 extra Lufenia tokens that we got. I don't think JP had though. Well, I don't. Maybe that's accounting for I don't know what it's accounting for, but this was stuff. It's new stuff, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. So it makes sense.
We're gonna get another pair too.
Yeah, we are.
On the 30th, there's 3 more Lufenias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes sense in hindsight why it did it. I'm not talking about whether it was the right thing to do, but I actually whether it was right or not doesn't really matter. I mean, it's worth talking about if you think we got screwed, like how we talked about the double BT banners that had half rates, and we told people don't pull on those, and we said Square, that's a bad idea. Again, if what comes out is bad, then we can talk about it then. But it's kind of a waste to get your panties in a bunch over stuff that ain't even out yet. All right, let's talk about what is, and what is. It is what it is. Let's worry about it when it gets here. But otherwise, it's just interesting seeing people's foresight getting robbed and freaking out.
Yeah,
pulling up the co-op now. Go ahead.
Wing Loof Plus is in a month. So next BT is Yuna, then Xstep, and then after that is Adon, who has BT Plus. So that is the first Loof Plus.
Yeah. Let's see. Co-op, mid game. We can get Lilith, Jack, and shit. I'm looking at the name, but it's not Lilith, Jack, and Leon. I don't know why. I just read it on screen, but it wasn't clicking for me. That's my brain is off.
Wow.
Yeah. Someone asked how is Yuna's BT. It's pretty good. Lufenia Plus is in 2 weeks. Agrius event's already Luf Plus. I don't know if that was a joke, Silo Cons, or not. I can't tell if that was a sarcasm, but that wasn't Lufenia Plus. That was just a something. And I don't think we're gonna get that fight. If they put Barry Yuki with an interesting comment. I think they put Ami on the Setzer banner if it's true, because she's the other character that deletes turns outside of Zon's LD and LTBT. I hadn't thought about that angle. That's actually an excellent point.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is super nice. Just keep in mind, there are videos of rushing down the Pandemonium Loop Plus with no deleting.
Yeah, no deleting. Not even a friend Zidane or a Zidane call.
I watched someone that had an Immediatelian call, and they used it when the orb wasn't even up, so that the boss didn't get a turn. They literally didn't even give a crap about the orb, and they wasted their delete before the orb even showed up. So
well, there is a phase where it kills your battery unless you delete. So they might have used it then? I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
Yeah, so it might not have been a complete waste. A pseudo Loof Plus. Just don't worry about the Shinryu fight. I don't think that's gonna happen again, just because it was just a copy paste with some more stats. It was kind of weird and not really a fight.
Yeah, I mean, Infighter, shout out to Infighter.
Yeah.
Infighter crushed it with Queen, Sephiroth, and Ashe. To give you an idea, single target fight, Queen and her lunge just eat that up for dinner. It was great.
Yep. Damn, I was about to look at something on my phone and I forgot. Must not have been
Probably. Oh, you weren't looking at the artifacts?
Oh, I did. It was. I think I was gonna go somewhere with that. So it looks like we're probably just. I'm signing on to the 2 banners at once theory. That's my. If I were to guess, that'd be it. That we get a Setzer banner. That's something. I don't even know what to guess on that. That's way out there. But we're definitely getting Von, Arden, and Kefka, and Waka. So that's probably going. They have to have artifacts farmable somewhere. If they're going to be synergy somewhere. So.
Will you humor the Amiditalian BT conversation?
No.
All right.
I would humor Amiditalian getting Heimer Plus early though, because it still hasn't happened in JP.
Does that make any sense though? Does it make any change?
Not really. Not game breaking.
No, not even game tapping. Like.
Oh. I mean,
I don't know.
On your theoretical Ami that's doing damage, which isn't really a thing. So, why are Setzer and Walker green synergy? Their banner will come. Yeah, it kind of has to. So the fact that they're boosted here means either it's a bug, which is probably negative likely. Actually, they had it in the in-game announcement, so it's definitely they definitely knew they put that together on purpose. So that means while boss rushes up, that a Setzer banner has to happen. So he's definitely not coming with X Step. And whether he's going to bleed into Yuna's BT cycle, we don't know. We just have to find out. Unless there's an Ami rework, a bit hard to consider that blue armor. Yeah. Yeah, the in-game notice does say it's intended. So, how are we looking on the metrics right now? Let me get on my Kevin Samuels right quick.
What's the metric? Oh,
we got 170 viewers and 45 likes. Let's get that engagement, guys, up. Go ahead and hit the like on the video. Helps out a ton. Maybe just wanted more people to use Waka. Where's Blind Eye? Justice for Waka. I'm looking. I want to talk about the Equinox for a bit too. And one thing I wanted to.
Hold on. Can we talk really quickly? Because we're talking about Waka, can we talk about Waka's EX hitting harder than Leon's trap? Because that's pathetic.
Sinewave disliked that comment.
How on earth does Waka's EX, which is probably like everyone that uses Waka's EX knows you need to pump it full of a lot of buffs and a lot of debuffs to get that thing to deal more, like even reasonable damage.
Oh no, Sinewave said Ink is right.
Oh, no. Leon's. So I actually watched back my video, right? So my second team for Boss Rush was Celeste, Gladio, and Leon. It was super fun team. They crushed it. I had to get them out with 20 turns left because they had no way to trigger the orb in the last wave.
Right.
And Celeste's counter was dealing 7,500 brave damage. Gladio was dealing 5,700, and Leon's trap was dealing 3,200 brave damage, like half of what Celeste's trap does, which just, I find that unfathomable that they would like not give that more potency, considering that they didn't rework his base skills.
Damn.
I did not blue Leon. Oh, that's Mino. God damn. I have no space for any random blues. I have to blue Yuna and Setzer.
Yeah, that's soon. Oof. With synergy stats. Damn.
Yes, with synergy stats, and and that's with Kurosame call and Gabranth call and Jack call all up, and he's still dealing 3,200 with synergy. I don't get it. He seemed fine when I was watching videos of his traps, because
still there.
What?
Oh, cutting out. You back? Oh no. I see Alphano in chat. Alphano, how you feeling about the Anchorite, bro?
Whenever my alarm goes off, I get disconnected.
Oh, there you go. You're back. Alpha, are you feeling okay about Thanker, bro? Him and his 2 HP attacks? I don't feel so good. Oh. What was I gonna say about the Equinox? It's just nice to. Oh, this is what it. Shout out to Dystopia Clay, for highlighting that Equinox, the third one, the one with the Beatrix things, is I fell for the. I'm not gonna say synergy bias, but Arciella made that fight a lot easier than I realized, because he took it back in perspective. And I think what he said specifically in the TCC Discord was, "Don't you guys usually call out when fights are usually biased like this?" And I went back and thought about it. I'm like, how ass is this fight without Arciella? And if you don't have Arciella, who's on banner right now, thankfully, or like Ferris or Beatrix, the fight's kind of sketchy. So I think that fight probably left the most to be desired in terms of balance, and I personally had a lot of trouble on the Gal whatever stage, just because the orb wasn't. I'm gonna say it wasn't intuitive and it wasn't obvious, because the best strategy ended up to be leaving them with 3 debuffs on until you need to deal with the orb, which made it interesting. And I try to think about it like that. And how would we deal with this fight if we knew it was coming 8 months later? And I think everyone would be like, "Oh, just do this. What's the problem?" And now that it's not immediately in our face, it's a bit more of an obstacle. But then on the other side, my YouTube metrics show in terms of difficulty that well, no, that's not scientific at all. This doesn't mean anything, and the conclusions I'm drawing for this don't really mean anything. But my Arciella video also is nearing like 3,000 views, and my the dragon one with the Golbez boss, which I assume everyone just Tifa to death, me included. That one's doing the worst out of them. So I think most people, there were people in that video, in the Beatrix boss video, asking what the orb is, which also confused me. Ink, is the orb up on the site? Do you guys have a Lufenia research thing for these fights?
No, we didn't bother, because Dissidia Info did so much that I looked at it and I was like, wow, those guys are heroes. So yeah. Dissidia Info has everything. Excalibur puts out like the freaking awesome graphics, overviews of like the fight thresholds. It's actually way better than reading our Lufenia research. They're super good. They cover all the key details.
All right.
What?
Time to outsource.
And yeah, it was a sap orb though, and I think where people get confused, that honestly the wordings for the orbs, I put the feedback actually in main court today. The orbs have been described really poorly lately. They keep saying take brave damage from a debuff, and I don't know why they don't just say takes poison or sap damage. Like, just call them out. They're the only 2 types of ways to trigger that orb, because everybody sees brave damage from a debuff and they're like, okay, cool, traps. I'll use Trey, and it's like, no, Trey works because he has sap and he worked on his event which had that same orb, and they're like, well, if Trey works, great, I'm gonna go use Emperor, and they're like, oh wait, why doesn't Emperor work? Why doesn't this work? And it's totally confusing. The last wave of Boss Rush is poorly worded, because it says if the player deals 10,000 brave damage in 1 hit, then boost the orb. But it's actually if the target takes 10,000 damage. And I was pissed because I can't save.
Hold on.
I can't save an Aura Ball.
Slow down.
No.
What's no? Because I'm confused. What's the difference?
So the difference is that I go and I use Aura Bolt with Sabin, and I'm targeting Aura Bolt. Oh God, Aura Cannon. Fuck. Use the old FF3 names from the US, please.
Look at this guy.
So fuck that. Use Aura Cannon. If you use Aura Cannon and he caps his damage, right?
Yes.
And you use it on A, only A's orb will boost. But the orb description is that the player deals 10,000 damage. So all 3 should go up, because I, as the player, just dealt it. So the orb should actually be worded take 10,000 brave damage, because it has to be enemy side. Because if it's player side, they should all trigger. It pissed me off because on a 3-target fight, Sabin doesn't really want a Razor Gale. I mean, the damage is fine, but like you definitely want the 400k damage, 500k damage that Aura Bolt or a cannon is going to deal to 3 enemies.
I got you. Got you. Okay, you're right. You're right. I agree completely.
Wait, I have boomer terminology? Oh, because, yes, thank you. And GLF is saying the same thing. Bum Rush over Phantom Rush. Phantom Rush shouldn't exist. That would get 8 out of the game. I don't mind 8, by the way. I just mind that he has Phantom Rush. I don't think that he should have the exact same named skill. It hurts more than Vincent and Terra having the same animation on skill 1.
Wait, hold on. No, they don't.
Yes,
oh my God, they do. Oh no!
It's bullshit.
It's the same fireball. Oh no! Oh you! Oh, that's gonna be so funny to watch the VOD because I think something just snapped in my brain when you said that. Like, no, And by the way, I've been trying to say Gaelok for the past 36 minutes. I saw his comment and I just said someone. I kept saying someone because I had no idea how to say their name. So thank you for saying that because I had no idea. Immersion, bro, yo, that's something else. They got the same animation. Wow.
Yeah.
I got nothing to say to that. But I think overall these perfectums were a big W. The greatest thing was the fact that I could open it up and do the Lufenia immediately. Oh my god. That was amazing. Screw around there,
yeah.
Farm co-op later, at my own leisure. Jesus Christ, that might be my favorite thing out of this. Yeah, go ahead.
Shout out to Silocons who explained to me what Aura Cannon does on Sabin as though I didn't know. No offense, Silocons, but yeah, I'm talking about the brave damage from that the player is dealing, not each target. The orb is just worded like shit, but yeah, please. I know Sabin's kept pretty well at this point.
Yeah, people saying they ruined. If you want your day further ruined, just remember that ink doesn't like Skittles. Don't focus on that. It's people keep bringing it up in the comments. It's so funny.
Leon's trap is Skittles. Holy shit! That thing is.
Why don't they call it Phantom Flare? The localizations in this game are all over the place. So it is what it is on that. But yeah, overall, I'm really looking forward to the second round. I think part of the enjoyment was just not knowing what it is and having the opportunity to work through the stages and break them down. And because this is what happens normally in JP. People get the fight and they stomp it once and then they run it back and figure out the in-between, some Galaxy Brain stuffs, and that filters down to GL eventually. And then we get takes like, you need Setzer for Boss Rush 5 last wave. When you could just defend, and stuff gets lost in the cracks. And I blame myself partially because when I initially did my poll plans, I think I mentioned for a second that I was like I said Setzer. I'm not gonna quote myself because I don't even remember what I said. Obviously, I'm gonna remember a more charitable version of what I said, but I made sure to clarify the second time around. Like I think I said like 1 second, like, oh, you can just debuff them to hell and get past it. But Setzer's the obvious path to least resistance, and it's just the hyperbole. It's never gonna end, but I think people are at least getting smarter. You feel me? Kros 13 said you can synergy stomp it, say it's easy, and then not run synergy, and then people say this is so hard, I hate it, this is impossible. Yeah, I mean, or you can do like me and run synergy, acknowledge that you stomped it, and then keep it moving. That's really all it's about. Kadaj is a good choice for Equinox 2 Electric Boogaloo. Yeah. Imagine if Kadaj was broken right now.
I hope that there's some catering for Kadaj, and I expect there will be, just because at least the Sephiroth bosses, you're gonna want to load them up with debuffs so that they can't apply their shield. Right. Throw 8 debuffs on those guys, and they just dance around and do nothing while you pummel them to a pulp. And it'll probably be a reasonable orb, we can hope. So that fight should be fun revenge, I think. And yeah, hopefully Kadaj will be good for that one.
Yeah, it's gonna get horrid to death too. I mean, we have Terra, Young, Tidus, Oh, well, it's probably good. It's probably gonna be magic resist again, like it was on release. But you could just enchant your way through that or Barts. So we have so many more tools. Be a call. We had like we didn't have like the broken suite of LD calls we do now. So it's gonna be a lot more manageable, for sure. Looking at chat real quick. I helped somebody struggling with Boss Rush 4. Boss Rush Wave 4, but all he was doing wrong was bringing Porum Call. Not sure where he got the idea as a good LD call. Doesn't Porum's Call bring the defense down? I don't know.
I have no idea, but why wouldn't you use her in the main party?
I don't know. Maybe because he used her earlier. But that might have been just a mistake either. Ricky says, I hope the Sephiroth boss, it's a mouthful today, is to have less than 4 debuffs. Oh. That would
Ricky,
be fun. I would love that.
That would be hilarious.
And anything to because it really makes me appreciate Lufenia by the fact that adding such a simple condition like one of those can drastically change how you approach the fight. Because it's really like the ulti boss, the Aphmau boss, I should say. But we got an ultis thing. A lot of people just ran Penelo ulti and didn't well, first off, you don't notice the dispel as much when you're running Penelo, because it just eats her generics and you get rid of them and then you go back into town. And ulti doesn't have that many debuffs, so you never really see the cleanse thing go crazy unless you debuff them to hell already. So these mechanics already existed. We just didn't realize it because we stopped them earlier. So it made me appreciate that boss even more. What else?
For sure. Well, should we talk about? Should we shift topic? Mino pinged me something that I actually wanted to rant about.
Oh, what was it?
So there's an image going around on main cord, and thank you, Mino, for pointing me to it. And he's pissed that we caused it in the Tonberry troop.
Oh.
But they're posting an image of the header for Trey and the header for Core. I'll try to put it in the YouTube chat somehow.
Just send it to me in a DM. I can throw it on screen.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. So people are posting this stupid image that's comparing them. So let me ping BC so that you all can see. And they're basically looking at the roles that we put on Core.
Oh,
and they're yeah. Well, it is and it isn't. Right?
No, it just is. Where's Mino?
So the problem is on Core, we have his primary role as linked attacker, which I think is totally appropriate. I don't think it's a joke because there was a significant amount of people. Someone even posted in the questions chat in main cord that said, hey, I just learned that Core is a support and I'm running him with Tidus.
They're smoking that Nick the Ninja pack, bro.
Now I don't need a support because Core is a support. So who's the best third for this and for this team? So this is happening now a lot. First of all, read the fucking order of the skills. Linked attacker is first, and the other 3 are secondary, and it's a fucking GL first, people. We don't get to play with Core ahead of time. We don't have an affiliation with Squax. They don't let us test out the character first so that we can make the infographic pretty or anything like that. We have to do research. And so the best thing that we can do is study the kit details, compare it to the other 200, 300 times that we've looked at kit details, and try to draw some information from it. Core has some minor auras, like 10% HP damage. He's got Brave damage up, I'm pretty sure. And he has a bunch of random supportive qualities, like Brave damage reduction.
Mino,
so
Mino, I need you to talk. Okay, this is about to me showing that I am not going to simp for ink, because this is I don't know what Mino said to him, but this is entirely his fault by his need to put things in buckets. So chat, let's get an unofficial survey in chat. If you're gonna blame Tonberry Troop for people thinking in terms of this, press 1, and if you don't blame Tonberry Troop, press 2. All right, I need some ones if you think Tonberry Troop caused this, 2 is if you think they didn't. I'm going to put this entirely on the fault of Ink and forcing people into roles and buckets that people start thinking like this. I'm a big proponent of say what people do.
What?
Man, fuck y'all for people saying two. By the way,
yeah.
if you post two, I'm putting a mute bot on for if you press two. I'm kidding. There's no way to officially track this, but it's not consistent. 1 + 2 = 3. Y'all are ugly. So you're saying that people are seeing overlap, and they're saying, "I have one, I don't need the other." Is that what I'm getting?
They're looking at all the buckets, and they're saying this is everything that they do, and they're not looking at the weight of those items. And so they look at it.
Hold on. How would they weigh the items based on the infographic?
The length of the arrow. It's very scientific.
Yeah. I need to walk around my apartment for a second. Oh my god.
What the fuck? How is that not clear that the arrows for a year have been decreasing in length?
Chat, keep this motherfucker honest. All right. Let me get a 1 if you knew what the fuck that meant, and 2 if you didn't. Did anybody know that about the motherfucking infographics? You gotta be shitting me. That is not intuitive at the fuck all. You got me fucked up. Ain't nobody know that but you. Come on, man. Ain't nobody know that. Nobody knew that.
So fucking
nobody knew that. Is that in your legend? Nobody knew that.
Hold on, let me check.
There's a lot of 2s right now, and the ones are lying their ass off.
We have a legend. Hold on.
And nobody checks the fucking legend. See, did y'all know there was a legend?
There's a section that's called "How to Read Infographics" on our website.
Why would you have a guide on how to read an infographic? That means the infographic isn't doing its job, and people don't know what shit means.
Unfortunately, the example is flawed.
And you're arbitrarily defining roles so that people can put them in buckets and think they have enough coverage. Do you see all the problems building on itself?
Why don't people read the rest of the graphic?
You're getting a lot of 2s, bro.
More of the...
It's adding a lot of steps. People look at the picture and don't do nothing else.
Are you kidding me?
You gotta take some responsibility on this one. Ain't nobody know that. Ain't nobody know that.
That's bullshit.
No. You see all the 2s? You see all the 2s? And my audience is smarter than the average. So if they didn't get it, man, bro, you're capping your ass off right now, dog. It is not obvious. Maybe you should highlight it, but a longer arrow? Come on, man. You gotta take a double on this one. This ain't it. This ain't it.
I'll pass it. I'll pass it off to Dreamy.
Maybe a different color, but slightly long.
No, the color is based off of the where that roll relates back to a sphere. That's God! That's why damage reduction is blue, because it's like a tank-like quality.
My God.
Support is D.
I'm tired of doing number polls.
So Hope and Queen.
You can't make this shit convoluted and get mad at people not knowing it.
We have to try to put a lot of information as straightforward as possible on the graphic.
This goes back to the putting things in boxes thing. That's what it started off with.
This is one case where you should put things in boxes.
See,
because just at a high level,
and the boxes were put in, and they didn't put it in they didn't put the shit in boxes the way you wanted them to do it, and you're putting them at fault. Nah, the responsibility is on you, sir.
I can't believe that we have been doing this for a fucking year, and our research documents say major roles, medium roles, and minor roles.
Bro, Chad, do y'all be thinking about shit in major, medium, minor roles? Bro, this is the exact shit I was talking about when I said I disagree with Ink. This is how our conversations always go. Cause I'm like, who thinks like this?
Hold on, I'm gonna find an example of somebody that has three different arrow.
Oh my god, it's just gonna get worse. It's getting worse. It's getting worse.
I'll find it eventually.
Bro, you got the point of infographics is to communicate things in an effective way. And if people are getting shit confused, that's on you for not communicating it correctly.
You can point all you want. You all can put fucking 2 in the chat. I'm in denial.
He's hoping. Hey, chat, let me get some copium for Ink right now. He can't believe that nobody noticed this bullshit that's been on the infographics for how long.
It's been on the graphics for a long fucking time.
And none of y'all noticed. Let's get some copium in the chat, y'all.
This is bullshit. I feel like that.
Where's Mino? Oh, man.
Fuck this.
Isn't that how you think anyways? You know, oh, I have this role coverage, therefore I don't need the other one. Isn't that what you already do?
I mean, it's for a new player, that's the right way to try to evaluate things.
You do that shit! Do I have to bring up the Iroha whales?
You summon Mino.
Bring up the Iroha whales and the fucking battery. You were like, BC said, put 2 batteries in your team. You said, I have 1 battery. Why do I need a second? You do this shit!
4K.
I had 2
4K, bro.
You said 4K. I already have 1 support in my team. Why do I need a second? You always say that.
4K, bro.
I don't say. I build balanced teams.
Sir! Okay, that's Cap. Cap, can we get some Cap emojis? Cap, I'm jumping in my own damn chat. How do I type emojis from the computer? Can I get some Cap? Good Lord, Ink! No, don't be like this. I remember your bum ass Terra Strago Cella's team, wasn't it? On a Rojas Lufenia, wasn't that your team? Balance team these nuts. Balance these nuts. You ain't balanced shit.
That seems why.
Cap.
This is why I pushed back a little on Leon, because who did you run with Leon for his damage to suck? Because Sign's been showing out of synergy high damage.
Gladio and Celeste. How is that not?
That's not a great.
That's not a great damage.
Hold on, stop. With Jack Call, Kurasame Call, and Gabranth Call.
There's no attack there, bro.
This is literally. Did you watch Joe's run? This was literally Joe's thinking. He said, "This is boss rush, so I'm going to put 3 off-turn characters together." He also did Celeste, Furia, and Gladio, and was wondering why the damage was so bad. You don't just be like, "I need 3."
There's no damage. There's no attack in that team. Omar, this is some premium ink simping. Damn right it is.
Fuck this.
Yeah.
So, even chat is telling you that's a bad team.
Chat's saying you're capping, bro.
How's the team? First off, the team like cleaned the wave with barely any turns, so the team's fine.
No, that's not the point.
I'm comparing Leon in the team to Celeste and Gladio.
That was not a good team for boosting Leon's damage. And I thought Sine Wave would push back on that, but he didn't for some reason. So I left it alone. But that was not a good team.
RBK doesn't know what he's talking about.
Hey.
RBK says Ink said that Iroha has a worse kit than Fujin. That's true. I forgot. He did say that.
He did say that.
He also said Deuce was better than.
I think Ink proposed it as a potential hot take. I don't think he committed to it.
Yeah,
but he was thinking about it.
I think Deuce over a recent support around that time too.
I don't know, bro. Chat said you can't.
Leon is not a tank.
Oh my god, here we go. Putting people in boxes again. We've gone full circle.
Oh my god. But anyways, the thing is, like, that's some scrub team building, Ink, because you're doing 3 weak traps or 3 weak off turns instead of boosting 1 off turn to be super hard.
How is Gladio dealing 90k on his primary plus splash, which is boosted with all the debuffs to like 70k? So I'm dealing 150k with Gladio and capped basically like 90k with Celeste. Leon was actually dealing over 100k, but that's because Celeste and Gladio were batterying his trap before it went off. But he was doing.
So he was doing more damage.
You're changing the subject.
You're doing more damage than the other characters you brought, but you're saying it's because of the other characters, even though his super synergy aura ass was making them hit that hard.
You didn't build a team to maximize Leon's output, and then complained about Leon's output.
What would maximize Leon's output further? You want me to put Paladin Cecil in the team?
Attack auras, brave damage up, defense down, the usual.
Okay, so you're telling me that Kurasame and Jack don't provide enough of that.
If you don't have a good attack, if you don't have a good baseline, yeah, they're not going to do jack shit.
So Leon with his outdated ass kit needs. You're saying that you need to skyrocket his attack with
I'm
Queen.
saying you need to. No, I didn't say that. You're putting words in my mouth.
Yes, I am putting words in your mouth.
Saying
I'm trying to.
You need to buff his attack more instead of just relying on Gladio and Celes, who don't get his baseline attack up high enough, or maybe you didn't do enough. Is what you didn't build around maxing his damage out. That's what I'm trying to say. You did.
Yeah, his damage was fine. It was just his brave damage that I was surprised at how weak his traps are in comparison to other traps.
Okay, that's a different conversation.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
No, that is not what you said.
You
said his damage was
Samgi 9 is not a tank either. This is ridiculous. I feel like there's enemies everywhere.
Damn.
But I do have a lot of respect for Leon in general because he operates on a different axis than every other character in the game, and I appreciate that he basically can enable some like different strategies that literally no one else can do. So I have an appreciation for Leon. I do wish that the brave damage from his trap was higher, but they're obviously, and I want to say that CSDX put this in, they're banking on the fact that, hey, Leon's going to absorb the damage and then dump it. So like that's totally like reasonable approach that they're planning for the enemy to battery them. So yeah, it's fine.
Where was I going? But yes, if someone takes your information and gets confused, you should be looking at how you present it first.
No, for sure. Now that I have that, like I said, I'll talk to Dreamy about it. I'm not really sure. Like the only thing that I could think of that we would do is change the font size so that attacker is larger and the others are smaller font.
Bold it.
That's probably the easiest thing we could do.
I don't know. Or you could. I mean, that's still the whole thing, emphasizing the roles and people taking it differently. As long as you highlight those things and have such like sorry, I'm drinking water. How many categories do you have for those arrows?
Oh, you think a lot. There's plenty of categories.
The more you have, the more overlap there will be, and the more people will think they'll be replaceable by virtue of labels. It's something that's going to happen, and by getting into that, you have to accept that or emphasize harder that because I mean, what's the point of putting people in labels if you're expecting them to get the nuance, but then you're labeling them in the first place? Why not just ditch the nuance in the first place?
Do you not describe the character in a sentence in your own pull plans video? Where you say that Shantoto is a debuffing attacker or something like that? Do you not put them in a bucket?
Let's say I don't think I'd say it like that, but let's assume I do. I just say what they do. She debuffs and she does damage.
But
I go into it.
Puts her in buckets. We go into it too with the rest of the fucking graphic and a whole notes section in the website.
People. I just be saying my approach is say what they do. Obviously, there's going to be some overlap because most people in the game do brave damage. If you choose to extrapolate that, I'm not giving them labels. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, and I'm just saying what they do. Leon isn't a tank because he does not draw the enemy onto him. So.
Okay, yeah. What was I trying to do?
Sinewave asked.
Yeah, Sinewave is a punk for not defending Leon correctly. Fake ass FF2 saga. Where is the picture that I made? This is what I wanted. Where is it? It's in my Dissidia folder. What I wanted to touch on, which is probably gonna have to get pushed back, was I floated this around in the TCC server, which you guys should be joining as long as you aren't cringe. Don't be cringe. Let me display that. I'm working on a formula for judging fight difficulty ish and kind of explaining how I look at it. Here we go. And I added letters to it this time. But I think I try to look at, and assuming that you don't bring the units that trivialize it. I judge if like synergy or like people that crush it. Assuming you don't do that, the fights in Dissidia are at their best when they're in Quadrant B, where there are boss mechanics that make you think, but there's also multiple characters that can tackle it. You don't want to be in Quadrant D, where the boss messes you up and there's not many viable characters, because that's how you end up at like early Chaos or Sephiroth's Lufenia fight, or some of the other really nasty fights that nobody likes. No boss threat and few viable characters would beat them. Something like Vanille's Lost Chapter. This is the rarest occasion where bosses are just they're just meat shields. Meat shields? That's not the right terminology, is it? Punching bags. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, I don't think that happens very often, where bosses are just punching bags and you don't have to deal with any mechanics. But it's not fun because it's just a slog. You don't want that. And then A would be kind of where JP has been hovering for the past couple months, where you can do a lot of things with a lot of characters, but you're not getting pushback. So ideally, I wanted to talk about this, but we could probably shelve for another time. But I just wanted to see what you guys thought about it, chat and Ink. I don't know if you saw my diagram earlier.
No, I've never seen it before.
Okay,
but
I posted a TCC Gen chat earlier.
The problem with it is defining many and few. Because like someone for the Marilith fight, the Beatrix bosses, like someone did Sabin, Warrior of Light, and Vanille, right? Like
Yes.
Vanille with her EX plus and Warrior of Light was just on a banner. So that's the problem with many viable characters. Because
Yes.
I would immediately say, hey, we've got viable characters because someone used Vanille, and you could technically get all her gear for free right now in game.
This is confusing because my brain processed A to be the best outcome because the top of the alphabet, B on this chart is the worst, most ideal spot. Yeah, it's because I was having trouble because in Gen Chat I was defining it in terms of like actual math quadrants with 1, 2, 3, and 4 that go counterclockwise, but that's not intuitive to everyone who isn't familiar with that terminology. So then they said use letters. But yeah, it needs some work. But I guess many viable characters could be like.
Who gave you that shit feedback?
Magnol.
That's the whole.
A lot of people agreed. A lot of people agreed.
You should put Dissidia stickers there. So like put the awesome Onion Knight awesome or whatever the thing is. Put that in the B slot. And then A being like too easy, like just grab Dissidia stickers and put those instead. That's probably way easier, and then you don't have the Alpha No problem.
This is awful. Like, if you know the math terminology, good. If you don't, you can learn it. But this way, the people that are familiar with that are confused, and the people who don't know it are confused. Like, people in chat are like, I don't understand A, B, C, D here either. Like, it doesn't make sense to anybody, whereas at least if you kept it consistent, you know, like, top right plus is A, and then to the top left is B, etc., like that. At least educated people would get it, or they could get educated. This is confusing everybody.
Damn.
So is, for the I think the hardest one to grasp, I'm trying to think of a fight that goes in C. Like, what boss is not threatening, but we only have a few viable characters? Is that like a tight turn count fight?
I don't know.
Where you have to use like Ramza, like back in the day?
The only example
Chaos.
I've been given that might have been it. The only example I was given was, like, I think Mark said this was Vanille's Lost Chapter, where it was just a long fight and not everybody could last. I think that's what Mark said. I don't remember exactly. So
Yeah.
that fight might not even exist, but it had to exist just for the sake of the graph. Okay, here I'm gonna quote Magnol directly, so he's represented accurately. You can name them A, B, C, D instead, to start from the top left to avoid confusion with mathematical terms. Intuitive colloquial reading. I don't think I said that right. Let me say intuitive/colloquial reading tends to assume the first quadrant is top left.
To who? Asians read this backwards. Magnol and his westernized, fucking biased ass.
He's gonna murder you. I expect. Okay, well, it's a rough draft. I just wanted to float it. Maybe I'll bring it up next week. But this is how I try and look at difficulty, assuming you are not bringing synergy. And this recent Thancred fight, I'm starting to lean it more in the B category, because I was getting fucked up when I didn't bring Zach. So, would restrictive orbs be considered punishing boss? Yes. I was trying to find a good terminology for that too.
This is just as bad as Ink's fucking arrows. Like,
might
why
be.
are they
It
even
might be.
labeled A, B, C, D? Like, you don't need these
It's,
extra labels. They're just more confusing.
It's because A is the most tank-like. B is very there's healing there.
Why are you
C
doing
is supportive, and D
Where
is
do you
more
get these
attack.
colors from? Where
He's
do
talking
you
about
get
the
these
spheres.
colors?
He's talking about the spheres.
The fucking spheres in game, buddy. All the red spheres are A. They're all attack spheres. All the C spheres are supportive. Well, no, the C spheres are healing. They're green. But yeah.
Red means stop. Red means
Red means
debuffs
bad.
and defense. That red is a stop sign.
This
Red means
is
stop.
the worst
Green means
conversation
go.
of all
Go.
time.
This
Abyss
Go with all
Dullahan
your
is definitely a
DPS.
D.
Let's
Green
shift.
means
This is
go with all
awful.
your DPS.
A and
This
B are
is awful.
backwards. Listen, it's a work in progress. I'm just trying to. It's to communicate an idea. All right.
No,
While
no,
y'all are chatting or bitching about the graph, go ahead and like the video. Lufenia, where the orb is hard, should be C. So multiracial line brought up Yuri's intertwined will because few people could deal with the orb, but the boss wasn't threatening. But then he also, as you remember correctly, the orb didn't kill you, so it actually didn't really matter. So, yeah, ideally, B is the spot to be at. I think B is where Global's at kind of right now, where you get fucked up if you're not doing stuff right, but there's a bunch of people who can handle stuff. That's fun stuff. Why am I getting pinged? Oh.
Probably.
Damn. What's that? Tidus event should be a C. It doesn't really have much of a boss threat, but the orb makes it have a few viable characters. Now that boss will murder you. Or the orb
I think the
will murder you.
orb. I think the orb needs to be considered with the boss.
Yeah.
Like they're a pair.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because the orb attack. If the orb kills you, then it has to do with how restrictive the orb is. If the orb is you must deal weakness damage, and the boss is you can only deal wind and dark, that's a fucking bad fight.
I'm taking this down now because it was just a theory.
You stumbled upon Ink's fetish. He's super excited about this graph, so you can tell you're going in the wrong
I am
direction.
not.
Damn.
You guys are both sitting here
Damn.
talking about the tiny
Damn.
little things you can do,
I'm
like,
about to just delete this
orb
off my
should
hard
be
drive.
combined with punishing boss. The color should mean this. Letters should go here. This isn't helping anybody right now.
Damn. So we had Kor's Lufenia where the fight itself was trivial, but there were only 3 characters in the entire game to take the orb. Good point. Yeah, the idea is there. More just illuminating my thought process and how I try to approach fights.
Yeah, that's
Need some
that's
fine
true.
tuning. But we can start wrapping up now. It's almost 9:10. Mino, closing thoughts. Even though you didn't really say anything today.
You guys didn't give me a fucking window to speak. I jump on, you guys just yap. The reason I came in was because I was actually in bed getting ready to nap, and then you mentioned that Setzer thread, the really thread, and so I went to go read it, and I got so angry reading it, I came on. but-
Let's hear about that.
No, it's too late.
No, it's not.
I jumped on. No fucking introduction, no opening. You just go yap.
Well, I said, "Oh, hey, Mino's here." That was your intro to jump in.
No,
Stupid.
No, you
Stupid.
kept talking.
The VOD's
You
gonna
kept talking
expose
after
you.
that fucking- But it's old news by now. Other than shit. No, I forgot my main points. I think I got really angry, and you guys touched on some of this shit, which was people seem to be genuinely upset because of one, they're like, oh, you can't even pull for half the synergy, and people here are this one comment really fucking triggered me because it was like, oh, this is such a bullshit event. Why are Kefka and Vaughn super synergy, but when I try to use them, they're garbage, and then I fail the fight, right? Like,
Oh yeah,
why would
that
you
same dude was like, it was that same dude exactly. This is the one I shouted out earlier, who was like, I did it with these garbage characters, and he got downvoted for that too.
Yeah, and he was all like, I don't understand why you would put they're like delaying Setzer led to this. It led to an event with synergy that's garbage. You know, I tried Vaughn and Kefka because that's who I had, and I couldn't do the fight. So like this
Vaughn,
was poorly designed.
Okay, Vaughn, okay. If you can do it with Vaughn, fine. But like Kefka and Arden aren't getting skill rework, so they're plenty viable still. Yeah, that was really funny.
And then, you know, though this has never been done before, even though every seasonal banner does this, like Galif was this for one of the boss rushes, and, you know, for the fucking Bart's fight, like they do this all the time, first of all. And the second of all was, I think you guys also touched on this, is, GL's never delayed characters like this before. You guys listed a couple. I have the whole list. I was rattling it off on my stream last night. And I don't know which ones you guys touched on, but going backwards, Cater we talked about. Yeah. I don't remember if she was actually released outside of the rewards window or at the very, very tail end. Do you remember?
I don't remember. I think it was near the end.
She was the middle. She was the middle banner. So the first banner was Kane. Second banner was Cater. Third banner was Aranea rerun.
Right.
And then, you know, people mentioned the Terra EX instant cast buff was delayed a month or two.
Yes,
when JP had a lot of Ultima had a lot of recommended Terra for a lot of
and then people kept rerolling for if you weren't around during the C50 era, go take off Terra's extension passives and watch as she casts for a turn and it doesn't do anything. She used to not
what? It's not even an instant. It's not even instant.
It's not even instant. It's not instant or not free. She did a cast and then you had to wait until her next turn to actually use the skill. And so with the Terra's update,
it was Cyan. She played like Cyan.
Terra played like Cyan. Terra used to play like Cyan, and people in the beginning of Global were re-rolling like mad to get Terra's weapons and her 35 and her 15 and shit, and then they couldn't use her for like 6 months because she didn't have the rework. It was the funniest shit.
Yeah, because it was supposed to come in right before the EX, right? And then the jump to EX difficulty was a little tough.
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, people said you needed one of the early EXs to stand a chance, right? Like Cloud EX was an MVP, and then like and then Terra pre-EX was supposed to be one of the MVPs there, but her rework got pushed back a couple months, so she wasn't. So
yeah, that was really people had meltdown, but the community wasn't as big back then, so they probably weren't as pronounced meltdowns. But people, and then Cloud's rework got delayed, and Josh literally got on stream and said it would be too strong.
Yeah. And like that's the other funny. Like Cloud's got pushed back 6 fucking months.
Was it that long?
Yeah. I went back and looked at it because I'm doing all this research for the podcast, and I was talking about it on stream yesterday. And it's like Cloud 35. He was supposed to get a rework on 35. You know how like a lot of those starter characters like Furion, you know how Furion S1 was like garbage?
Yes.
And then he got a rework that said plus like 230% brave damage on it. So all of a sudden it, you know, actually did damage. Cloud was supposed to get that for cross slash, otherwise his cross slash wasn't hitting for shit. And when he got his 35, if you remember, his 35 is the one that gave him all those crucial buffs.
And it gave him an extra use too.
Yeah. That the rework gave him the extra use, but I'm saying the 35 CP.
No, 35 gave him an extra use too.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but the rework was supposed to give him an extra. He was supposed to get another one on top of that for 3 total. Yeah. Right. And
that was huge when launch really mattered.
Yeah. And cross slash, brave damage, huge increase, and just more S2 damage as well. Josh came on stream saying, "Hey, we're pushing that back. We think that if we give Cloud that, he's going to dominate the game for too long. So in order to mix up the gameplay and mix up the meta, we're going to postpone that." They postponed it till his EX.
Yeah.
It was an entire tuning pass, 6 months, that Cloud was like performing like shit. Like honestly, like it was like sure it was nice, but it was a huge difference. He really would have been a meta character, and they're like, oh, we don't want one character to dominate the meta too hard. And then like
Saz happened.
Yeah, no, and then Saz happened after that.
Order? Really?
Saz happened after that. Yep, a month and a half after that. So you know that's all. So so GL, this isn't fucking new. I side with BC more and more every day. There's just too many new players that are stupid. This didn't happen in my 4 or 6 months of playing, so must have never happened. That's probably why people freak out on these difficulty jumps all the time too. So like, just reading that shit.
The thread is complete cancer. Dear God.
I agreed with so much. Your girl up there, Incognito Cheese, I think is your friend. She was going crazy in that thread too. But it was a lot of like, I can't pull this synergy to make this fight easy. Like you said, right? A lot of people are waiting to the end to do boss rush. They don't even want to try it without Setzer. And a lot of it is like, this is such a shit move because boss rush is designed for Setzer and you can't use Setzer. And so how the fuck am I supposed to play the game? I don't know. It was fucking crazy, dude.
And if you want to hear Mino go more in depth about that, be sure to tune into the TCC podcast tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Twitch.tv/The Crystal Chronicles. Mino will definitely lay into that with more research and more formally. And I'm gonna try and am I gonna try and show for the post for tomorrow? Let me not make promises. I'm not gonna keep. But he'll probably go more in depth on that because he's doing a lot more research than my lazy ass. No one's missing anything by not having played year one at Cydia. Yeah, no pity. Slow ass game. People really romanticize that shit. It wasn't great. Game really started to hit its groove with the C60 era, where we got more attacks and started having more fun buttons to press. Next year, we're going to be talking about how LDs used to be so OP before. Sine Wave, just to make it clear, when I said Leon damage sucks, I meant his potency, so my bad. Bruh, shut up. Shut up. You know what you said. You ain't say shit. Quit flip-flopping. I hope Mino makes the channel. Well, Wing 19, Mino's on the podcast now. So he talks and he speaks his mind there. So that's his excuse. And then he is now on the Crystal Chronicles podcast channel. So if y'all want more Mino content, I'm for real. Check that out because they be it's a good time. Hello Black, bro, say it. Whoa, I'm kidding. But Mino, is that all you had to say?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, Ink, closing thoughts.
Everyone should try to counter anyone that says Setzer is OP or whatever. There was someone that commented on my the Noctis graphic this morning that was like, what the fuck? How are people saying Noctis is OP? And it's like, dude, read the comments. Like, no one said Noctis is OP. So if you see that going around for Setzer, I feel like people are going to be really disappointed that they don't have constant rainbow numbers like Core does when he has his HP plus. And they're not going to realize that the buff goes down in burst window. So they're going to realize like all the normal, like the balances of Setzer's kit that aren't as good. Like they're going to harp on it and be like, what the fuck? We waited for this. I feel like people are going to be mad because he's getting hyped to an unrealistic level right now with all these fucking threads. So if you see something, try to correct it. Try to provide the balance part
Make your
of
own
it.
content, people.
Yeah. Like just try to counter people, try to provide information, because I feel like, unfortunately, as much as I love Setzer and all the FF6 stuff, I feel like he's approaching like fucking supernova status and is gonna like burn out because you're not gonna need him right now, and he's also not. He works with Tidus, like there is Lufenia plus with Setzer and Tidus together, but I feel like he won't be as impactful for Tidus as Core is, and people are gonna draw the like Core Tidus comparison again and like knock Setzer for not being as good with Tidus without trying him with like off-turn damage characters. Like he's gonna be so good for Leon, but
Core too.
Yeah, like all of them. But yeah,
we'll get the banner eventually, and the people previews will have memory of Goldfish and get over it. I doubt the people crying the loudest aren't gonna skip the banner.
Yeah, they're not gonna skip anyway.
We'll judge the banner when it is. I'm not passing any judgment on something that I don't know the contents of. Is that too difficult for people who have too much time on their hands on Reddit? Apparently.
Yeah, one of the biggest complaints was if they change up the release schedule from JP, how am I going to plan my polls? I swear to God, I saw that like a dozen
there was someone who said, oh, you know, maybe some people are relying on the synergy because they don't have the time to play the game.
Oh, no. Someone said,
Yeah.
someone fucking said, because someone's like, hey, chill out. If it releases on the 30th, you still have 7 days to do boss rush.
It's
and
more
then,
days than that, isn't it?
Yeah, and then somebody fucking countered, said, not all of us have an hour to spare in a 7-day time span. First of all, What the fuck? Nobody is that busy, especially nobody that regularly comments on a DMFO.
Yeah.
subreddit.
Stop
No.
standing the people that you don't even like know.
Yeah, please don't pretend. Please don't pretend you are so time crunched that if a banner gets delayed a week, you're done. You
The
just can't
people
do
who
the
are
event
concerned about that are okay not getting all the rewards. Dumbass.
Yeah, if your life is that fucking busy, this is the least of your
the
fucking
city
concerns.
is the least
Are
of your
goddamn
priorities.
kidding me?
Get your life in order. God damn.
And the second thing is, after hearing Ink's voice, I remembered another reason I got mad. I was PMing you. I said, I'm so angry, right? But for sake of time,
No.
it was
there is no
basically,
time limit.
I just wanted to pile on to you, Ink, because of the, like the role stuff. But you guys were fighting over that plenty. But I said, what I PM'd you, I said, at least I can boil it down to, why did you call Core a linked attacker? Why didn't you just say attacker? Why did you specify linked attacker? There are no other linked attackers. Why is this a category?
Well, I hate to tell you, if you look at the other GL First content, we put belated Valentine on Vincent as his primary role. Like, we joke around.
That's what you get. This is what you get.
No. See, so no. Okay, I'm with Ink on this one. They just add something cute to the GL First infographic. That's fine.
Yeah,
That's fine.
That's it. Yeah,
Fine, I'll take that L.
Yep.
But no, honestly, I always appreciate feedback. So like the fact that many people didn't get that the length of the arrows is important. Like I'll for sure talk to Dreamy and figure out what we can do to change that up to like be a little bit more intuitive. So that it's
my suggestion though, Ink, my suggestion along with like BC is, what about, have you thought of just completely removing that? Like, would that actually be impactful? Because you said all the nuances in the rest of the infographic. So if people are going and they read the rest of the infographic, that's better than them going, thinking that's a TLDR, taking those little couple of arrows and then jumping to the wrong conclusion.
I mean, sure, maybe. I don't know.
Something to consider, right? Because is it really adding to people's understanding of the kit when the rest of the infographic presents all the information without really putting it into boxes?
They'd be forced to read more, or come up with their own definitions.
I feel like, well, no, but that's not the point of the graphic is meant to show information, right? And I don't think that anyone. There's probably some tags that we shouldn't use. I know people have gotten on us about a Mid-Italian's graphic saying delayer, and then no one cared about it until we had a delay orb, and they're like, "What the fuck? Why does Tonberry Troop say that a Mid-Italian works in the delay fight?"
Yeah, that's why I'm saying it's like it's you're putting yourself in a corner, especially when you're giving these characters categories, like a handful. But then you have admittedly dozens that exist.
We're Tonberry Troop. We're in an igloo at best. There are no corners, buddy. So yeah, don't worry about that.
Okay, kill that right there. That was yikes. I want to say, Final Mog pointed out, do people not remember you can stop boss rush mid-fight and come back to it any other time? That's the main thing to point out with boss rush.
That's true.
Yeah, if you get stuck in the last wave, just wait till Setzer comes out, so you don't need to do it for an hour straight. What a fucking dumbass that guy on Reddit is. Holy shit. What are your thoughts on the boss rush being released before the second batch of BT characters getting C80? You can scroll back, but it's just wait a couple days. The people complaining most loudly about this in general are not the people affected by it, and they're imagining people having issues in order to justify their impatience. Basically, is that's my impression of it. And again,
that's very well said. I agree with that.
If it don't apply, let it fly. If I haven't said anything that applies to your train of thought and you get offended, that means that is your insecurity talking over the fact that you don't have an actual counter argument.
Why do you want to pull Setzer anyway? He's gonna be like banned from all the TCC challenges.
Yeah, and if you're not doing TCC challenges, you're a fucking loser.
Yeah, I agree. I second that.
Yeah. So my closing thoughts, and the joke in that was twofold, by the way. One, I was insulting Ink, but I was also downplaying myself because I don't do the challenges either. So for any smooth brains who got offended by that as well, there you go. My closing thoughts are I can't wait for the Setzer banner to happen. because I want to see more meltdowns, and I want to see how many comments age poorly on any side. I don't have a stake in this because I want Setzer, and I'm going to pull for him, regardless of what's on the banner. I personally don't think they do a no BT banner, but if they do, I don't think that's a smart decision, and I call it out immediately. But if it hasn't happened, I'm not gonna call it a bad idea.
I'll put money down, BC. Like, benefit of the doubt, there's gonna be some BT on it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But everyone's assuming no BT for no reason. I feel like
I don't know if you heard that in the beginning, but I said there's as much validity to thinking there will be a BT on that banner as there is for not thinking.
Okay, I missed that, so that's good. Yeah. But
both are baseless.
So many people are convinced. So many people who are angry about sets are so convinced. No BT, like based on zero evidence.
Yeah, there's zero evidence to support that claim, and what can be claimed without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
They may have put themselves in a corner with that one because it's very hard to overlap it with Yuna and put Yuna on there. It's tricky to do that because that means that you're putting Setzer and Waka as synergy on an event from 2 things ago, because you'd have to release Yuna and then release Setzer. So it means they need to put like random BTs on it or run it with a triple BT, triple LD, like one banner with all of that shit on it. But I can't see them in an era where you can pay 500 G tokens to get a BT. I cannot see them putting 3 LDs on a banner. That is a massive, massive mistake. And it's probably they're testing it, they're trying it because it's never been done before.
And if it is
we
like that,
really never had a triple LD. No, we do with the triple BT banners too, right?
Yes, but they have
technically there, but the BT is there, right? So I'm talking triple LD, no BT. Like that's never been done before.
Yeah.
The only times they've done something in that realm have been like the all series banners where they have all the LDs on them but no BTs.
Oh, that's a thing? That's cool.
That's in JP. It's been going on in JP for like a month now. They have like 3 featured series, and they have all the weapons for those characters. It's a free pull every day.
Oh, that's pretty. That's like, really cool. Yeah.
So like right now it's like 9, 14, and 3. I think it is. So all the LDs are featured. No, it's I think maybe it's Type 0. I don't know, but they're doing that right now. It's a daily free pull thing. I'm at like 800 power stones in JP right now. Fuck. But that's the thing.
Yeah.
What do
I do with all these power stones?
I don't know.
Like,
But I mean we'll see when it gets there. I don't know what else I could say about it except I'm ready to laugh some more because I'm gonna get Setzer somehow, and a lot of people crying about it probably will too. Shout out to Sadie for giving me a free Garnet LD so I can play her. Yeah, I got Ami's LD on JP on one of those banners, so I'm cool. But you can't pity an LD on the banner. I think Crystal Chronicles is up. Yeah, it's Crystal Chronicles 14, I think. And because that's how I got Ami. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I think that's it. This time next week we'll have the Setzer banner, and we can dead all this. Hopefully, start talking about Yuna, and hopefully, I'm with Ink. If Agris does get pushed back again, or if Agris does get pushed back, that will be equally funny. Just because people didn't learn the first time, nothing's guaranteed. Especially if you quit over this, you're a dumbass. I mean, get the fuck out. You weren't sticking around anyways. But this has been the ranting hour. We went way longer than an hour, but I'm okay with that because we said some funny stuff. Again, tune into the TCC podcast tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, twitch.tv/The Crystal Chronicles. Join the Discord as well. Become a Twitch sub there. It's a fun time. Just don't be cringe. I was going to say something. I forgot it. I don't know. Whatever. Be sure to like the video, comment in the VOD. Yeah, I'm flailing right now, so I'm going to end the stream. Good night.